Okay, so in this section or part of the series, we're going to sew our ornaments together. You should have your two halves by now, sewn together in the proper areas. I have my needle pre-threaded. I've taken out my little vice grips. Okay, so we're going to assemble these two pieces together. This is what you should have, two sections. Now we're just going to put them together just like this. Okay. Make sure that you have your points on the top, one side together, all your points together, and all your points on the bottom together. Now if you want to, you can start sewing here and sew them together first, or I like to start here. So here we are with them together. There's the top, there's the bottom, and so I'm holding it right here. You see where I'm holding it? That's where I'm going to connect it together. Just like if it was what we did here, in the same exact place is where we're going to put it together. So I'm just going to put my little vice grips on there so you can see. And on the other side, here's the two pieces going together. And it's the two pieces that are going together that we're going to sew to keep our ornament together. So that's the pieces that we're sewing. So we're going to sew 1, 2, and on the other side, 1, 2, that's 4. And we'll start by sewing those together. And then after we finish that, we'll sew our ends together by matching our points as best we can. Making sure you're keeping yourself round, okay? So I'm just going to take those out because they're a little bulky. I just wanted to show you where I was going to sew. So I've got my two together here. There's about the center. Keep it the same as we did down there on the other on each section. And we're going to do the same thing we just did. And sew these together. Then we're going to go to the other side where our two is coming together here. And, it's the same as here. We'll keep sort of as close to that opening. Keep it the symmetry there. Now, if you watch my other video making this same type ornament, I used to put glue in there. I don't do that anymore because it's messy and it's really not necessary. All the stitching that we're going to do here will hold it together. So now we go to the other side. And if that sounded confusing what I just said about the glue, you can still do it if you want to. I used to put glue here and here. I just don't do that anymore. I find that the sewing is enough. Match up your points. Here's our other one. Match it up. Sorry, I keep slamming those scissors down. That must sound horrible. We have to rethread our needle. I think if I do this again, I'm going to have like 10 needles pre-threaded. Okay, we've done that. So now we have the points at the bottom still there and on the same there. So now what we're going to do is we're just going to go into one of our points and hook our thread on. And then go maybe over to the, it doesn't matter which one you go to first, but go into the another point. Just make sure you keep your points like together there is what we're doing. And you're sewing around through the points, okay? Like there's a point, then we have a point here. And that's what we're doing, and that will close us the rest of the way up. So that, just make sure you get all of them. And sew them together. You don't have to like pull it like you're pulling someone's hair out. But you want to get a good thread in there, you know. And make sure that each one gets sewn in. I just like to open them up a little bit when I put my fingers in there. Make sure I'm collecting all my threads. And you can decide when you feel like it's closed up enough or not, or when you need to stop. It's totally up to you. Just make sure you get it closed up well. And then knot it off like we've done everywhere else. And you do the same thing to the other side. So we're just going to do the same thing on the bottom side. or the top, whichever one it turns out to be. And you've done the bottom, and you've done, I have also, like I said, sewn these, but it's really not necessary because they don't really open up that much. But, yeah. So there you have it. You've sewn your ball together, your ornament, top and bottom. So now we're going to do our attachments. And you just determine, say, okay, oh, I like this better for the top. Okay, cool. So let me get my darning needle. You'll need your darning needle now. So I've got my darning needle. And we're just going to put one end of our little ties that we made. And we're going to go from one side through to the other side and just pull that thread through just like that. Okay, so we went that way. Now we're going to take the other piece of thread that's on our attachment, put it in your needle, and this one went that way, so we're going to go the opposite way in the same place. So go into the same place and push this one in the other direction. Okay, so there you have put one that way, one that way. Now here's our two pieces. We just simply I like to try to get it in the middle. And then you're just going to take your two yarns and tie them in a knot. Then I'm going to go the other side like that. And do a couple of knots. I mean, it's not that heavy, but... So then you've tied on your little tie thing, your hanger, I guess it is called. Okay, so now we've tied that on. And you know, you'll shape this out and pull it and get you a nice little round circle ball type thing going on there. So you can take your darning needle, just stick it right in the top here. Doesn't matter where it comes in or where it goes out. You're not really going to see it. And just put that extra thread in there if you don't want to cut it off. What else got that? Just thread it into the needle and pull your needle. Hold this and it disappears into the ball. And then whatever pops through there, you just cut it because it's not going anywhere. And you'll do the same thing over here. Just stick it in there somewhere. Push it out. Thread it through the needle. Pull it through. Cut it. And you've sewn your hanger on your ball. Okay. Now for our tassel, which we're going to do the same thing with the darning hook. We're going to go in on one side like this, come out the other, just like we did on the other piece. So you have two, that's why we left the two long strings. So put one through your darning needle. I showed you where to push it through. So you thread one side of one of the long strings, pull it through just like you did on the hanger part. Okay, that way. Then thread your needle again with the other piece of yarn you left hanging on your tassel for this purpose. Hope you didn't cut them off. And you'll go back through the same way, just like we did on the other piece. And then try to get it into the center as best you can. Take your two threads, tie them in a knot at the base of your tassel. And you'll flip it the same way we did the hanger piece so that we're tying it even on all sides. That way if somebody who's being very nosy looks at the bottom of your tassel, they'll be like, oh, you have to, it'll be perfect. So tie it tight, and we'll do the same thing. We'll take the thread, put it in the needle, and just pop it through. It's not for stationary purposes, it's just to make it disappear. Do the same thing to your other string. Pop it through there, doesn't matter where, and pull it down through and cut it. Find that other one, cut it, and your tassel's on, and your ornament is done. And at this point you can put rhinestones. Sometimes I put rhinestones on all the points, It's a very pretty ornament. So when I get them all done, I'll show you all of them hanging together and how pretty they are.